All right, welcome once again to another segment of Sports Therapy with FH Jr. I am your host. A little bit about the show. Let me first go over the rules for the rule breakers. Sports Therapy is a show where callers will have 2 minutes to call in and rip, rant, or kick some knowledge about all things NFL. On Sports Therapy with FH Jr., we don't talk politics. I don't give a fat rat's butt what the Republicans are doing, nor do I care what the Democrats are doing. We don't talk race relations. We don't talk sexual orientation. All are welcome to participate and call in as long as you are a fan of football, then you are a fan of mine. And as you can see, I am always rocking the standard uniform, followed by the cool beard and the NFL hat to signify that I am as neutral as Switzerland. On Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr., man, we offer advice, but hell, we don't give sound advice. So this show is about fun and yucks. Fun and yucks. What do we rate it? Probably PG-13. Now, this show is not for everybody. Now, if you're underage, parental guidance is recommended. Now, I have the cussing bell just in case somebody goes just a little bit too far because it's about emotions. That's what we do here. And in case things get a little bit too wild and woolly, I got the comfort pillow. That's why. And it's so the number to call is always 940-329-4110. And we are always sponsored by Crown Royal. That is my drink. I wouldn't have it any other way. Week 4 in the NFL, man. It's been so wild and woolly, man. I'm like Ric Flair, man. I'm having a hard time holding these Gators down when it comes to my Commanders, Redskins / football team. Remember what I said, man. If you winning, hell, they don't care what you call yourself, bro. We can be the Mud Pigs or whatever. As long as we winning, everybody's happy. The week got started Thursday night when the Cowboys. Now look. Like I tell people, hey, I am a fan first. Fan first. I'm fan first. I cheer for everybody in my division to lose, i.e., Giants, Eagles, and Cowboys. That's just how it is. Okay? I'm a fan first. But on the show, we don't fan shame now. We don't fan shame now. Your team is your team. Your opinions are your opinion, and we don't rake you over the coals. You get 2 minutes to call in, rip, rant. If you want to talk about the referees, the popcorn, the parking lot, cheerleaders, like up cheerleaders, the band, whatever, hey, bro, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy or unhappy, you can call in the Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr., where the number is 940-329-4110. Now, we're going to talk scores today. You know, I always say, hey, we're going to talk scores, and then somehow somebody call and shoot my wheels off, and then we don't get to talk scores. But we're going to talk some scores today because things got a little bit crazy, man. It did. There was some big surprises, but I want to start and talk about last Thursday night, man. Cowboys took on the Giants. And to me, that was a game that was going to determine the season for both teams. Um, it was a terrible game as far as officiating. Not and you know what? I don't. I love the league. I love the league, and you know I get to use their product, and I they had called me and said hell don't do it, and until then we'll keep rocking. But there are some things that the league has to clean up, and I don't know if it's that particular crew, but man, there were penalties, and it kept the game from getting into what I call a good routine. The game never settled in. No team could just get the momentum because the refs. To me, the referee should not be a part of the game. If the game is good, and if the signal call, I call them zebras or zeebs. And if the Zeebs are doing their job the way it's supposed to be done, you really won't even know that they're there. I mean, but it was like every 5 minutes there was a call. And to the point to where Al Michaels even made a comment about, hey, man, ref, please, man, what are y'all doing? But Um, in that game, if you were looking for some excitement, last Thursday's Cowboys versus the Giants, it wasn't there. Um, it really wasn't. The game was there was a part of me that was cheering for the Giants because look, I was cheering for a train wreck. I'll be honest. I wanted to see a train wreck. I wanted to see what would happen if them their boys lose and go 1-3. I just want to see how it was would all hell break loose. But they did manage to stay alive. So the Cowboys record is, I believe, 2-2. Giants, they played a lot better than I thought they were going to play because they have been looking pretty terrible. They don't have a running game at all. Daniel Jones played a lot better, but they just simply don't have a running game. They don't have the speed to get around the edges, which was causing the Cowboys to have some problems with teams that could get the corners, get around the edges, and then that would cause some problems down the line as far as with their defense. Cowboys, from what I saw of the game, they really have one go-to receiver, and that's C.D. Lamb, and you'll see teams start to roll over coverage and just kind of make somebody else have to step up. Dak is Dak, but all in all, the Cowboys did what they needed to do. They came away with a victory, so it is what it is. But keep in mind, this is Sports Therapy with F.H. Jr. What the number to call is 940-329-4110. We are streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And we're also on TikTok. Hey, I got a caller coming in. Sports Therapy with F.H.
Who
Jr.
that?
Ah, Jay. Jay, 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 Jay,
Man,
Jay. Jay, I don't mean to bring you down, but you know, I usually roll on the Saints game because my kid is a big time Saint fan, so I kind of like spend a little quality time with my kids. So we kind of watch the Who That Nation together. That game, I'll be honest, you all took on the Dirty Birds, and you can see them on my. Let me point to those. There we go. This side, one of them. Anyway, you can see the Dirty Birds on the standard uniform. Um, for all purposes, Atlanta should not have won that game. And I'm
nah,
Jay
they shouldn't have won that game.
and Carr
We
is
had it.
y'all had it. Y'all had it. Carr is starting to revert back to the old Carr, which means he's checked down Charlie, won't throw the ball downfield at all. Um, and so I don't know what. Now I know you guys had a lot of injuries today, and that's what I know. There were a lot of
Yeah.
injuries, but I'll tell you how the game started from my perspective. Saints got the ball first, and it looked like it was going to be a typical Who That Nation type of game. Saints marched down, scored 7-0. Everybody high fiving, secret handshakes, and stuff like that, feeling all good about themselves. And and then all of a sudden, um, the Dirty Birds got the ball. You guys held them, stopped them on defense. I was like, okay, yeah, who that say they gonna beat them their Saints? And Jay, we talking about 7 minutes into the first quarter, there was a kickoff. And I think it was she had or she had whatever the young man name is. Now he's a good receiver, rookie, but he was by himself. It was a punt, and there was nobody near him. He muffed the punt, mishandled the field goal. Ball rolls into the end zone, landed on the 2 yard line, rolls in the end zone, and the Falcons jumped on it and made it a 7-7 ball game, Jay.
That's a good punch.
It was a gut punch. But But it seemed like you guys were going to get it together. Next play, Saints had the ball. Saints had the ball, and you guys scored again. I'm like, okay, now 14-7. And I text my kid and say, hey, because she was in church. I text my kid and say, hey, 14-7. You guys are playing good football. One mishap, but Saints are back rolling. The Who That Nation get the ball again, and for some strange reason, I guess Carr tried to call up on his Patrick Mahomes, I guess, and he tried to throw this sidearm pass. The ball hits the defender in the head, bounced up about 20 feet in the air. Falcon defensive player gets the ball and run it in for a 50 or 60-yard touchdown, and the score is tied 14-14. Then they followed that up with he followed that up with an interception, and which led to a field goal. So going into halftime, the Who That Nation was down 17-14, and then from there, um, what gets me is that Atlanta only scored 3 field goals. The other 2 touchdowns that they scored was based off of Saint turnovers and fumbles and stuff. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, we gotta get better at that. That's inexcusable.
you guys lost Taysom Hill at halftime, and he was responsible for those 2 touchdowns. I don't know, but it just now I know that he's probably not. He would not be your person as your quarterback. But the offense seems to run a lot better when that guy is involved. I don't care if he's in the
Yeah,
backfield. I don't care if he lines up at fullback, tight end, or if he's parking cars in the parking lot. But without him, you guys are a whole different team.
yeah. We saw that during the Eagles game.
But
And I don't want to talk about this.
you know what? Um, I don't know, Jay, because I know you guys have a lot of injuries. But my thing of it is, you got to do something about Carr's inability to throw the ball down the field. Y'all got weapons. Y'all got weapons. You got Chris Olave. You got the kid that fumbled the ball in the end zone, but you know, but he does not throw the ball down the field. It's just check down to the running back, or he's gonna throw maybe a little 6 or 7 yard pass, and the guy either run for a first down, but he rarely throws it downfield. Jay,
I know, so I said I wasn't a quarterback.
I just don't know, man. Jay, I don't know. But it could be worse. You guys are 2-2 now. Tampa Bay, they're in your all's division, and they destroyed. Let me.
Eagles.
Yes, and they did us a favor, and they did my Commanders a favor by taking out the Eagles. And it really wasn't a game because they jumped on the Eagles from the beginning. Eagles got a lot of injuries though. I know AJ Brown is out along with Smith. The wide receivers are out. Lane Johnson, their left tackle, he was out today too. But hey, every team got injuries. That's no excuse, man. You put your socks on, your shoes on, your helmet, you go out and play. Next man up. So, what do you guys got coming
Yeah.
up next?
I don't want to talk about it.
who y'all playing next?
It ain't the Chiefs, is it? Or is it later on?
Oh, yeah. Yes. You all play that man. That man in Kansas City. That man who's large and in charge. And when you large and in charge, Jay, they gotta call you chief. They got to call you chief. But you know what? Um, and I don't know did we talk about this, but you guys actually lost the game on a field goal?
On a field goal. He should have missed.
It shouldn't have never came down to that, to be honest with you.
No, it shouldn't have.
At all. At all. At all, Jay. So I don't know what's going on in the world of the Who That Nation, but
Car.
so Jay, let me get one Who That for the road.
Who that?
Who that say they gonna beat them their Saints? Good luck next week, Jay, against the Kansas City Chiefs. I will be tuning in because, like I said, I follow the Who That Nation. I like their team. I won't wear y'all gear though, but I always cheer for the Who That Nation, man, because my kid's a big Who Datter. All right, Jay, thanks for calling.
All right.
All right, that is Jay, the big Who Dat fan. Who that say they gonna beat them their Saints? All right, now let's get a commercial in here. Look, I need y'all to discover Crown Royal blended Canadian whiskey. Now it is patiently fit for a king, expertly blended since 1939. That is a long time to be making good whiskey. But I want y'all to do me a favor. If you ever see F.A. Jr. out the street and I'm crying fighting, man, pass me a bottle of Crown Royal. You know what I'm gonna say? Crown me, baby. Drink Crown Royal responsibly. And minors, you should never be drinking Crown Royal. Crown Royal, that is my drink. All right. Now, I always say we're gonna talk about some scores, and then somehow my wheels get blown off, and we don't get to talk about scores. But we're gonna talk about some scores today because I want to do a recap of today's games. Tampa Bay beat the. Well, I can't say that word. I had to hit my own cussing bell. Tampa Bay took on the mighty Eagles, beat the Eagles 33-16. But Tampa rolled out to a big lead on the Eagles, man. But like I was saying, I was telling Jay, the Eagles were without A.J. Brown. They were without the young man Smith. They was without their left tackle. But, hey, this is football. But they just did not have they just had the running game. Hurts didn't look like his normal self. Nobody from the Eagle land played the way Eagles played. So they lost the game, which put the Eagles probably that's going to drop them to, I believe, 2-3. And hey, like I said, man, I cheer for everybody in the division to lose. Then we had I don't know what to say about Cincinnati. I want to circle back later on and talk about Monday night's game between my Command and Redskin football team, and I think that was a turning point for us as far as getting us off the ground. But Bengals won today, 34-24 over the Panthers. So I don't know if that quarterback change, it probably was pretty good because at the end of the day, nobody wants to lose. So I think that was a good thing for them. Doesn't mean that the young man Bryce Young is done as far as being a number one pick. Maybe sometimes he just needs to sit and watch. The Houston Texans took on the Jacksonville Jags. Now, earlier this day, they were talking about the Jags and what's wrong with Trevor Lawrence. There were some who said he's trying too hard to make the simple plays. He's trying to be a super duper hero. So we don't know how that's gonna go. But let me see. I got a caller coming in here. Sports Deb with F.A. Jr.
What's going on, brother?
It's my homeboy Glenn. Homeboy Glenn, bruh. I was just going over.
Man, you know how it is, man. Sometimes you win, some you lose. So.
I was just going over some scores, and I was just getting ready to talk about your Steelers. So, but hey, since you are here, what say ye?
I didn't get a chance to really see them too much today because I had to run off a piece, but I knew they got down. I knew when they got down 14-0, it was gonna be kind of tough on them. But they made a little comeback. But I'm still. I'm not mad because the Colts is not as bad team as people want to put them out to be. Colts got a good team too.
Right.
But their quarterback ain't experienced, but he keep playing like this, he's gonna get some experience.
I got you. You're right.
But like I say, things, hey, it's part of the NFL, man.
Well,
it's tough out here sometimes.
What gets me is I think this was a game that Fields needed. He needed a game, what I call just a hard knock game, and that's what it was. One of those knockdown, drag out type of games. He wasn't himself. I watched some of the game. Colts got out to 17-0 lead, and I wanted to see what would Fields.
Right, I knew it was gonna be tough on him.
I wanted to see what would he do playing from behind. Now, this is what gets me about that game. The young man Richardson, who's a quarterback for the Colts, man, he got hurt in the first quarter, and so it was really a lot of self-imposed mistakes that were made by the Steelers that allowed them to get that game. But from there, the Colts just played good defense, man, and they made Fields have to put the game on his shoulder and produce. I think he settled in around about the fourth quarter, which was a little bit too late. But to me, that was a game that he needed to actually become the quarterback that, if he's ever going to be the quarterback that you guys need him to be, this was the first time he had to play from behind.
Right. That's what we're looking for. He didn't have a bad game, but I understand where you're coming from too, though.
Yeah. And like I said, when you guys knocked Richardson out, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a Steelers route. Then it came down to turnovers. You guys turned the ball over on your own, inside your own 5-yard line. You and I can make a touchdown from there in the NBA, in the NFL. So it was those type of issues that led to a quick 17-0 lead for the Colts, and then from there, the Colts played good defense, man. But you know what? Joe Flacco moved that offense a lot better than Richardson, to be honest with you. Although Richardson is the he has a higher upside as far as because Flacco, he's had his career, he's on the backside of his career, but in terms of moving the offense, he seemed to have a better grasp of the offense than Richardson, and that was just enough for them to hold on to that 17-0 lead.
But I thought Flacco had retired.
Nah, man. Hey, as long as somebody's giving you a check, man, there's no such thing as retirement, brother. There's no such thing as retirement.
Man, that's part of the NFL. The NFL is tough, man. I got a chance to see a little football. I got a chance to see the end of the Saints and the Falcons. That was a good game.
Yes.
And that was a hell of a game right there. And the one I'm waiting on is going to go in about the next 10 or 15 minutes. Watch Baltimore and Buffalo. Buffalo win the game tonight, they for real.
That is going to be a game. And in fact, I'm expecting Brandon, who's a big time Raven fan. I'm expecting him to call in around about a few minutes, and then might get him to do a little play-by-play, a little live action play-by-play if he can stand it, because the team is playing. But
if they lose to the Buffalo Bills, it's gonna get kind of tough for Baltimore.
It's gonna get kind of tough. Now, let me segue into this because I know how you love them Cowboys. Let's talk about
man. Look at don't start playing with me.
Let's talk about last Thursday night's game, man, between the Cowboys and the Giants. And I was telling the listeners that was a game, man. It was a terrible game from both teams, but the referees had now. I want to think about this one particular play. Dak was in his own end zone, and the Giants was putting pressure on him. He was in his own end zone, and he threw the ball to a lineman, and they called illegal passing.
But
And my
that's supposed to be a safety.
yes, yes,
That's supposed to be a safety because he was in the end zone.
okay.
And anybody that know football know that. But see, that's what pissed me off about the instant replay and all that other bullshit. Because hell, you got people up there in New York and all the other places. If you come up with a bad call, you got to call up there for them to call you back to correct the call, and they still can't get shit right. So what the hell you need them for up there in the first place?
I hear you, bro. I agree. I totally agree.
Man, that's a bullshit, man.
And then there was
I
this,
seen that play. That's a bullshit.
did you see the play where the Giants, because look, the Giants are limited in their offense, okay? They are very limited. They have a running back, but they don't have no speed, so they can't get the corners on anybody like the Ravens was doing the Cowboys in the other games. So the Giants, they need help. If you're not going to help them, don't hurt them. So there was this one drive where the Giants were moving the ball, and they were inside the Cowboys 30. And the referees called, I think they called a face mask. They called a face mask,
Yeah.
and we were trying to figure out. They called face mask on the Giants, and they were on offense. And then on the instant replay, you see where the face mask was committed by the Cowboy defender. And I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Man, I know you. Hey, man. Man, some of the referees, man, some of the referees need to be drug tested, man.
I'm trying to figure out.
They smoking.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell were they watching on that particular play.
They smoking that wet. Because I'm serious. I know what you're talking about. But that lets you know how sometimes people want to think that the NFL is rigged.
Well,
you know,
I'm glad you said it, because even though I'm finna joke about this, is it a conspiracy by the league to keep the Cowboys?
Yes, it is. Before you ask the question, with the Kansas City Chiefs, you damn right. Because it's a what you cussing Bill?
Here it is right here.
It's straight fucking bullshit. It's straight fucking bullshit the way they do in Kansas City, man. You know that, man. Yeah, before you ask the question. Hell yeah, man. Great conspiracy, man. Hell yeah. Hey, I don't have nothing. I'm from England, Arkansas. England got a homeboy from the Chief, B.J. Thompson. I know his people. He's a good kid. I like him and know everything. I root for him. I want to see him be successful. But they Patrick Mahomes. Something ain't right now.
Man, all I know is there a conspiracy for in other words, like LeBron and Michael Jordan do Mahomes, and do the Cowboys get calls? Because it was just two calls, man, that I was like, come on, man.
The Cowboy, hey, look here. The Cowboy get called because they ain't want for shit. Them some bitch jump outside, hold somebody. Them some bitch ain't nothing but a high-class high school team. They the third best team down in Texas. Behind Duncanville and probably who else?
DeSoto.
DeSoto. Yeah, they the third best high school team down in Dallas. Behind Duncanville, DeSoto. Take Michael Paulson and Dexter Lawrence, heard them some bitch ain't for damn.
Hey, man, and speaking of that, you know, the Cowboys are very limited, so I see some dark days ahead for the boys, man, because Tank Lawrence is out for about a month. And then Michael Parsons, he's probably going to be out about 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know, at the minimum, Michael's going to miss maybe 2 games. And Lawrence is going to be out probably about 4 games. So, man, I can see them probably going on a big losing streak without those guys, man.
I tell you what they need to do, man. They need to call to see which one of the nursing homes got less patience. Cause they better get the shit beat out their ass down there. And I'm so damn happy I don't know what to do. You know how I feel about their ass. Ain't no love for them. Ain't no love for their ass. When it comes to them, I'm with the Eagles.
Hey man, let me ask you this question here, man. And you know what, man? I tell people, man, I be just like Ric Flair. You know what Ric Flair say, man? You having a hard time holding them Gators down. Boy, I'm having a hard time staying professional on the air when it comes to my Redskin Commander football team, boy. Cause hey, bruh, we winning.
Y'all win today?
Yeah. Oh man, we blew the doors off of.
Boy, y'all, look here. I was just in to tell you something. Let me tell you something, young man. You know I love you, boy. Boy, y'all got y'all one this time, didn't you?
Hey, bro, we don't throw back 10-inch crappie, bro.
Boy, y'all got y'all quarterback this time.
We don't throw back 10-inch crappies, bro. When you go fishing, you don't
boy,
throw.
Hey, look here, y'all got y'all. Boy, y'all got y'all real Lionel Richie this time.
They coming to us, baby. It's brick house, baby.
Yes, sir. Y'all got y'all a young true Lionel Richie.
But you know what? Last Monday night we played Monday night. Took on the
boy. That's a beautiful game, man.
Yeah, hey man, that was our coming out game because I thought
said, man, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I've been watching football. You know how far we go back watching football, man.
Yep.
People might not know us like that on the podcast, but we go further back than some of the commentators to commentators.
True that.
But that's one of the best performers I've seen out of a quarterback in years, man. Not only a rookie, I'm talking about in years on a Monday Night Football game, man.
Hey, man, you should have saw him today.
No, he didn't do it today, did he?
Yeah. Hey, man, we won 41 to, I don't know, I think 13 or something, bro. Oh, yeah, it was all good.
Hey,
man.
What Booker McFarland? I want to say this here. I want to give a shout out to Booker McFarland with ESPN.
What's up?
I was listening to him the other day, and he made a quote back in July. He said that
yep.
the quarterback for the Commanders, don't be surprised if he outperformed Caleb Williams. He said a lot of people got whispers say he's going to be a better quarterback and all that. And sure enough, that man ain't lied. You got to get when they mess up and make a mistake, they let them know. You got to get that man their credit, man. That man, he shouted out to him. Yeah, he predicted. He said that, man.
He did.
Back in July, before even right after the draft.
He did. Hey, homeboy, let me get another caller in there, man.
All right, brother. Love you, brother.
All right, you too, bro. Love you. Appreciate your call, man. Thanks for calling. Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr. Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr.
F.A. Jr.
Hey,
F.A. Jr. It's the Ravens extraordinaire. I know you just saw my boy King Henry.
Hey,
I
man.
know you just saw him.
Hey, man, I need you to give play-by-play, bro.
Hey, man, okay, so because I'm at the Bar Louie in Arlington, the Highlands, watching it, man. But I went out to my phone to do the call, but I'm streaming it on my phone, too. Man, we just ran power with Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
first play. Derrick Henry just ran about a 70-yard touchdown on their ass.
Boy, you hyped up, man.
I told everybody when we signed Derrick Henry, once we figure this out, it's it, man. Name a better 1-2 punch the run game than we got.
There is none.
Come on, man.
And
right on cue, Derrick Henry just ran it in. You know, it's a few things in life, man. That's constant. It's 4 things: death, taxes, Ocho Cinco gonna always be open, and Derrick Henry gonna run power.
Hey man, you right. You are right. You're so right, my bro.
Man, I really want to give props, man, to Jaden Daniels and y'all team, man. Hell of a damn game today, man. Hell of a game today, man.
Bruh, like I was telling my homeboy Glenn, I said, bro, like Ric Flair used to say, boy, I'm having a hard time holding down these Gators, bro. Cause my man been balling, bro. He's been balling, man. He's balling. He is balling. And it started with Monday night, and I was like, okay, are we gonna build on this game from Monday night? And boy, did we. Boy, did we.
Man, that was the coming out game, dude. And the thing is, y'all are so much more fluid in your offense. And then I love the way you're including Austin Eckler in there as well.
Yes.
And,
yes.
Because McLaurin is gonna get the bulk of the catches. Now, this is one thing y'all got to do. If y'all can get that rookie Ben Sinnett,
yes,
tight end in the game,
yes,
then y'all will be good. Y'all will be good. That's the one thing I'm looking at, because he's better. He's essentially what Zach Ertz was younger in his career. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And I think we're gonna ease him in because he made some key plays today. He made some key plays the other night, but yeah, I think before it's all said and done, man, he's gonna be my man's safety blanket, because you gotta have one there. But right, we're playing good football, man. That running game with Mr. Robinson is running that ball, man. Robinson Jr., man, he's running that ball.
Man, he toting that rock, man. He toting that rock, dog.
Jaden is making good decisions, man. I mean. Hey, bro, we got offense, man. Now, let me tell you what I think going to happen, man. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen. Right about November, you say, I want you to, I'm going to keep the tape. You can say, FH, you said that. I'm willing to bet you, right about November, when we approach the trade deadline, that we end up with one Michael Parsons.
Here's the thing about Michael Parsons, right? When you're Dallas, it's bad for the season, but you have leverage going into contract negotiation, because they're gonna end up franchise tagging him, and they're gonna say because of health reasons. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't afford to give him max after you've given. You know what I'm saying? It's mathematically kind of hard, because you're paying a cornerback money. Then you're gonna play. Then you're gonna pay your quarterback and your number one receiver max money. That's gonna be tough.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm saying this. Number one, I think by that time dissension is gonna set in, because they getting ready to go on a losing streak, bro. They got a hell of a schedule coming up.
They are.
And
think about it. Michael Parsons gonna be out 2 to 4 weeks.
Yes.
DeMarcus Lawrence out 4 to 8 weeks.
Yes.
That's tough.
And your boy don't really care for him. The defense coordinator don't care for him, and they don't care for each other. You can just and his teammates don't care for him, because he don't fit into the scheme that the new defensive coordinator is trying to do. So I know I don't think I think what because we actually have a bargaining chip that we could probably roll with him too, because we picked up a nice young defensive tackle in the draft, and I think we'll probably package that, and I think we're gonna pick him up by November, because I think they ready to jettison him. They're not gonna franchise tag him, because old boy don't want him. He don't fit into their scheme, and he fits in more to what we run, because if you get that guy, then that allow our D tackles who finally start playing like they supposed to play. In fact, I was gonna do this show based on my two boys. Like, look, man, Payne, it's time for you guys to start, showing up on the defensive side. And because
that's that Alabama wall.
Yeah, boy, you know what? Hell, they been running through that Alabama wall. Now I can see running around the ends where we ain't got no pressure, but I just know those guys finally started to show up. But I just think give us Michael Parsons would fit right into what we need to do. He's a younger guy too, and I think with the kind of defense that DQ and them run, I think that's more suited to his skill set. So
I 100% agree, but I doubt Jerry Jones is going to trade him in division. That's going to be tough, but Michael Parsons is probably going to hold out during training camp, because the thing is, he's due for a max extension, but the Cowboys going to be like, look, dog, we got to franchise tag you, because you ain't You know what I mean?
But I'm saying the defensive coordinator don't want him. You know, it's okay to hold out if they want you, but I just know Zimmer don't want him, and his teammates don't want him, don't want to play with him.
I mean, the bad part about Mike Zimmer is Mike Zimmer runs a traditional 4-3.
Yep.
So he likes traditional guys that fit the mold.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
He doesn't like those hybrid type of guys. Like, he wants 4 guys that can put their hand in the dirt.
Yep.
And he wants 3 linebackers. That's why Kendricks is so good in his system, because he's played in that before when he was at in Minnesota.
Yep.
The thing about Mike Zimmer's defense is it's meant for the linebackers to make all the tackles. The thing about Micah Parsons is he's not like a Myles Garrett who's going to put his hand in the dirt.
Right.
And who's going to be a traditional defensive end, which is tough. You got to move Micah Parsons around. If you got Micah Parsons with his hand in the dirt, just as we did, you're just going to run power on him all day.
All day.
He's not that type of guy where he's just going to take on blocks.
He don't have the size. And then all of a sudden, he'll start cheating in, which is trying to take the shortest route to the quarterback, which is to run in instead of running up. And that's why you can get that corner on him. If you got what you guys got, a combination of a running back like Henry and a quarterback, and you can either run at him or you can get. He's not containing, so he doesn't fit in what Zimmer does, and that's why I said I believe in November they're gonna move him, man. I think they'll move him.
That's gonna be tough. If you're the Cowboys, what direction are you going in if you decide to move him? Because at this point, it makes no sense for you to tank.
Well,
you let him go, you save cap room.
Well, you're gonna tank anyway because they're gonna get their brains beat in. Well, they take it. My point of it is
because man, I told people, I was like, if the Giants still had Saquon, the Giants would have won that game.
Oh yes,
they would have won that game.
Let's revisit that game because I wanna say this, and me and my homeboy Glenn kind of had this conversation, and I'm not big into conspiracy theory, but man, there were 2 plays in that game because the Giants they are not the Giants are a team that has some issues on offense. Okay, they're not gonna blow you away. They don't have the type of running back that could get the edges and the corners and stuff. They don't have that, and they don't have the quarterback that can challenge you with his feet. He's a decent thrower if you give him enough time, but he'll make mistakes. He's limited. But one particular play, the Giants was moving the ball down on the Cowboys, and I think it was like a maybe 20, 25-yard pass. The guy got the ball, and he was I believe he was on Dallas's 30 or 25, and they called a face mask. They called a face mask on the Giants, and they called this face mask on the guy being tackled, the running back. And then as we looked at the instant replay, you see the only person grabbing the face mask was the defender of the Cowboys, and everybody like, what the hell? So at some point, the league or somebody, and I don't know if because I'm thinking under the new rules, I may be wrong that they could actually see that back in New York and make the correction, but that was only face mask was by the Cowboy defender, and that's killed the Giants' little drive because now there was a 10-yard penalty, put them back at the 40, and they ended up having to punt the ball. So I was like, come on. Then that was another play where Dak was in the end zone, he was under pressure, and he throws the ball to his lineman, and they make a call. Now, there was nobody else, no receiver, no running back near him. Now, my understanding that, B, and I may be wrong, but that should have been a safety because he's in the end zone. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Agreed. You are 100% right. That I said it too. I was like, oh, is that a safety? I was like, you know what? I'm going to mind my business.
But, I had a vested interest in the Cowboys losing, man. I was like, wait a minute. Come on, man. Seriously? Like, bro, I had a vested interest.
That was tough, man. That was tough. Like I'm watching that Cowboys game. You know, it's good they got CD more involved. But the way I'm looking at that Cowboys game, I'm like the Eagles and the Cowboys. There is going to be a shift of the tide because the Giants and especially y'all is not taking an ass whooping no more.
No more.
Y'all woke up and y'all said us two teams ain't finna be easy 4 wins for them two.
That's why I tell people that when you have a good team, whether it's you guys, because I'm going to throw y'all in here too, the 49ers, Kansas City, the Cowboys, the Bills, when you are inside that window, you get a 3 to 4 year term to get it done. Nobody's going to give it to you. You got to get it done. Just like you guys went and picked up Henry. Y'all ain't picked up Henry just for the future. That's based on win now. The Cowboys, that window is closing on them, and you can see it. And this year, they got nothing, bro. See, they got one weapon, and that's CD Lamb. They got no pressure. They got no running back.
Can't stop the run.
Can't stop the run, and nor can they run.
It's tough, man, because the way I'm looking at it, man, y'all winning the division is looking a lot better, dude.
Boy, is it?
Man, I think y'all might be able to do because 10 wins might win that division.
Man, 9 wins. 9 wins is gonna win this division, bro. Because
y'all not the NFC South. Y'all not the NFC.
Because I see the Eagles, their window is closing, bro. Because when Fletcher Cox and then those guys finally took it to the house, AJ Brown, see they've been in their prime for a good 3 years. This is their year to get it done. If the Eagles don't get it done now, bro, because now people starting to kind of catch up a little bit with Jalen Hurts, make him throw first. You can't let him throw and run. You got to take one away. I'd rather him beat me throwing the ball than beat me throwing and running. It's like, and just like today, man, the Buccaneers, although A.J. Brown and Smith were out, he had no weapons, but the Buccaneers just took it to them, man. They had them down, man.
Dude, this man, Baker Mayfield, man, was carving these boys up. I'm like, y'all just getting manhandled in the penitentiary, and y'all just taking it up this thing.
Hey, man.
Hey, remember when Debo told them, "Hey, which one of y'all gonna wash my drawers?" That's exactly what it was.
That's what it came down to. And you know what? I didn't feel that bad about when he carved us up because I was like, well, wait a minute, man. Come on. I know we got to fuck with you, but man,
I mean, as much smack as I talk about Baker Mayfield, the bottom line is, dude won the Heisman and dude was the number 1 overall pick. It's something there. It's just like with Sam Darnold. I tell people, Sam Darnold is not the all-be-all answer. It's some good things there. I feel like the Vikings got exposed a lot this game, so you're going to see their success start to dwindle. But I said he was a first-round draft pick for a reason. I was like, it's something there.
For a reason. And sometimes, man, athletes be late bloomers and stuff. But with the NFL, they don't have time. They don't have time for you to grow. It's like, okay, dude, you're first round draft pick. We expect you to be a day one. You day one hero. And if you're not a day one hero in the NFL, hey, bro, you gotta go. And sometimes you get those teams, those young guys, man. They have a different offensive coordinator every year. You got to learn a different system, and sometimes you just get offensive coordinators just not quarterback friendly. But seems to me like Sam Darnold, maybe a combination of him figuring things out, him getting mature, the game is slowing down for him, and he's in a system that works for him.
I agree. And I'm going to put this out there because a lot of people said Justin Fields was the problem, right? And I want to make this clear. Justin Fields is 3-1 and playing real good with a coach that believes in him, right?
Yep.
And what's funny is the same problems the Bears been having, even though they won today. Yeah, you still don't have an offensive line.
Nope.
So, I don't think it was Justin Fields. I have nothing against Rome Odunze, but I do believe with that number 9 pick, they should have drafted an offensive tackle.
Yep. If you are going
Justin
to
Fields
have
was
a rookie quarterback that you said is going to be the cornerstone of your team, you need to have either get you a veteran tackle or draft your someone just like him, a first rounder just like him, and let them grow and develop together. But you can't have a quarterback like Williams or Fields and you don't have no offensive line at all because a rookie got enough problem trying to figure out the offense and figure out what he needs to be doing. All those things along the offensive line, he just don't have the time for that, man. And if but and I've said it, I'm like you, I knew Fields wasn't the problem.
funny, man, when you go to situations, man, where people appreciate you. It's funny how things happen, right?
Yep.
Funny.
Yep.
Funny how that turns out.
Man.
Funny how when Malik Willis finally got a chance in Green Bay, how they was looking good. Funny how that happened, right?
Let me talk about that game a little bit, man. I think my man probably should not have came back today. Because, sometimes because his timing was hell, man, before they could blink, they were down 28. They were down 28 to nothing. And I just think he probably needed another week. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have done another couple weeks. I low key would have did it to the bye week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The bad part was since he didn't have a knee brace on that knee and that knee was still tender, he couldn't push off that knee to throw. So a lot of his throws sailed. There wasn't a lot of zip on them. But I feel like Malik Willis had the hot hand.
Yes.
If your quarterback is unsure, man, have him sit another couple weeks.
But sometimes it gets to where, well, I don't want to lose my spot. But dude, they don't paid you, so you're gonna be in there. It's just a matter of you getting well. I just think he rushed himself back because I don't think the team rushed him back. I think he rushed himself back. But I could just tell he was like Jordan Love did not look anywhere like the old Jordan Love. He started to kind of get it together a little bit, but it was too late. It was too late, my man.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult with that. He came back too early from that MCL, and I feel like he should have wore a brace on there just at least it could be a little bit more stable. But it was tough. But in the end, they almost came back. Hell of a game though toward the end.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
But it's still tough. I feel like you should have stayed out at least another week. You know what I mean?
Yep. I agree. I agree with you totally, my brother. I agree. I do wholeheartedly agree. Hey, my man, get your word in for what you do, man.
Yes, sir. This is Brandon Cooper, the Ravens extraordinaire. We finna run this ball all day. We're gonna finish up 2-2 in the month of September, and it's on our way to the Super Bowl. But we got to make a pit stop in Kansas City.
You gotta go. You gotta go through that man, bro.
We gotta. We got to, dog.
All right, brother. Thank you, man.
All right. Yes, sir.
All right. That has been Brandon Coop, D1 Eagle University, big time Raven fan. So I know he want to get back to watching his Ravens. I don't blame him, man. It's all good. It is all good when you watch your team, man. Because as I was saying, the way my commander's been playing today, what can I say, man? What can I say? I'm feeling good about my team. I'm a fan first. Podcast the second. Jaden he's looking pretty good. We got the run game going. Things are headed our arrow is headed up. For me, the goal is to improve. If we make the playoff, that'll be great. If we don't make the playoff, I'm not gonna be disappointed, man. If we can win 7-8 games, get that arrow pointing in a good direction, that would be great for me, and that's my goal. But that's my goal for the day, because I'm a fan first and podcast the second. All right. So now that is gonna wrap it and cap it. All right. Once again, this has been Sports Therapy with F.H. Jr. Want to thank my guest, Jay in Grand Prairie. My homeboy Glenn calling up from Arkansas, the great state. Like to thank my boy Big Coop from D1 Ignorant University. Then I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to be me. As Sly and the Family Stone says, I want to thank you for letting me be myself once again. I'd like to thank the Country Kennies down in Arkansas. I'd like to thank those in the Metroplex, my friends, my co-workers, and my students who should not be listening to this show because Sports Therapy with F.H. Jr. is rated PG-13. And last but not least, I want to thank those on the yard. And remember what I always say, stay golden, baby, for all those on the yard. What does stay golden mean? It means forever be true to yourself. We will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.